Welcome to my channel Pocket Change Coins, because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're traveling back to a fascinating moment in American history to uncover the story behind a small copper coin that carries big meaning for collectors. The United States of America 1-cent coin from 1940. Struck at the San Francisco Mint. This is a classic wheat penny that represents both history and opportunity for those who truly understand it. The 1940s Lincoln cent was produced as the world stood on the edge of major change. Although the United States had not yet entered World War II, global tensions were rising, and American industry was beginning to shift. Coins from this period were made to circulate heavily, and very few people considered saving them at the time. That heavy circulation is exactly why well-preserved examples are far more difficult to find today. On the front of the coin is the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This was already a well-established design by 1940, but strike quality varied greatly at the San Francisco Mint. Collectors closely study Lincoln's facial details, beard lines, and coat. Many examples show weakness in these areas, making sharply struck coins especially desirable. The small S mint mark beneath the date identifies San Francisco as the issuing mint and adds an extra layer of interest for collectors. The reverse features the classic wheat ears design, which symbolizes prosperity and agricultural strength. This design was nearing the end of its long run, as it would be replaced just a few years later. On most circulated 1940s cents, the wheat lines appear flat and worn, and the lettering loses its sharpness. Coins that still display full wheat detail, bold lettering, and original red or red-brown color stand out immediately. Rarity for the 1940s cent does not come from extremely low mintage, but from condition and preservation. Because copper is sensitive to wear, corrosion, and environmental damage, finding a clean, problem-free example is becoming increasingly difficult. Coins with original mint luster and minimal marks are especially sought after, particularly when professionally graded. Mint errors make this coin even more exciting for collectors. Some 1940s cents show off center strikes, where part of the design is missing. Others display doubled die features, most often visible in the date or lettering. Clipped planchets, caused by errors during blank preparation, are also known. In rare cases, cents were struck on improperly prepared blanks, leading to unusual thickness or weight. These mistakes transform a common wheat penny into a unique collectible with strong demand. For coin enthusiasts, the appeal of this coin lies in its blend of history and accessibility. It's old enough to carry the charm of early 20th century America, yet common enough that collectors can still search for high-grade examples and errors. Going through inherited collections, old jars, or vintage penny rolls can still lead to exciting discoveries. The 1940s Lincoln cent also holds a special place in wheat penny collections because it represents the final years before wartime metal changes and major shifts in U.S. coin production. For many collectors, it serves as a bridge between classic design and historic transformation, making it an essential part of any serious collection. Now let's talk about real-world value based on current market prices and auction results. A circulated 1940s cent is generally worth a few cents above face value. Uncirculated examples typically sell for $2 to $10. High-grade certified coins have sold for $50 to $200 at auction. Genuine mint error examples have reached prices of $100, several $100s, and in rare standout cases over $1,000, depending on the type, visibility, and overall condition of the error. Second rare coin, we're exploring a humble yet meaningful piece of American coinage that many people overlook, but collectors know deserves respect: the United States of America 1-cent coin from 1946. This Lincoln wheat cent marks a powerful moment in history and carries quiet value for those who understand what makes it special. The year 1946 was the first full year after World War II ended. America was transitioning from wartime production back to everyday life, and the U.S. Mint returned to using copper for pennies after experimenting with steel during the war. Because of this, The 1946 cent represents a return to normalcy and stability, making it historically significant even though it appears simple at first glance. On the front of the coin is the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. By 1946, this design had already been in use for decades, but minting quality still varied. Collectors carefully examined Lincoln's hair, cheekbone, beard, and coat lines. Many examples from this year show soft details due to worn dyes and high production demands. Coins with sharp facial features, strong lettering, and smooth fields are far more appealing and noticeably harder to find. The reverse features the classic wheat ears design, symbolizing growth, unity, and prosperity. This design was nearing the end of its long run, which adds additional collector interest. On most circulated 1946 cents, the wheat lines appear flat, and the words lose clarity. Coins that still show full separation in the wheat stalks, bold lettering, and original mint color stand out immediately to experienced collectors. Rarity for the 1946 cent does not come from low mintage numbers, as millions were produced to support a recovering economy. Instead, rarity comes from condition and preservation. Copper is extremely sensitive to handling, moisture, and storage conditions. Over the decades, many coins develop scratches, stains, corrosion, or artificial coloring. Collectors strongly prefer examples with natural color, clean surfaces, and minimal contact marks, especially those preserved in uncirculated condition. Mint errors add excitement and uniqueness to this otherwise common coin. Some 1946 cents were struck off-center, creating dramatic visual appeal. Others display double die characteristics, often seen in the date or lettering, caused by errors during die preparation. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a cutting mistake, are also known. In rarer situations, cents were struck on improperly prepared blanks, resulting in unusual thickness or weight. These errors transform a simple penny into a one-of-a-kind collectible that tells a story from inside the mint. For coin lovers, the 1946 Lincoln cent is especially enjoyable because it combines history, accessibility, and the thrill of discovery. It reminds collectors that valuable coins don't always need to be rare by mintage or made of precious metal. Knowledge and careful observation are often more important than age alone. Old albums, inherited collections, and forgotten jars can still hold impressive examples waiting to be appreciated. This coin also holds emotional significance. It represents peace after conflict and the rebuilding of a nation. For many collectors, owning a 1946 cent feels like holding a small piece of post-war American history in the palm of your hand. Now let's talk about real-world value based on actual market prices and auction records. A circulated 1946 1-cent coin is generally worth a few cents above face value. Uncirculated examples typically sell for $2 to $8. High-grade certified coins have brought prices ranging from $30 to $150 at auction. Genuine mint-era examples have sold for $100, several $100s, and in rare standout cases over $1,000, depending on the type, visibility, and overall condition of the error. Third expensive coin, we're diving deep into a small but historically rich coin that many people have passed by without a second thought, yet collectors know holds intriguing value. The United States of America 1-cent coin from 1950, struck at the Denver Mint. This Lincoln wheat cent may seem ordinary at first glance, but its history, rarity, and potential for mint errors make it a fascinating treasure for any numismatist. The 1950 D penny was produced in a period when the United States was transitioning from the post-World War II era into a booming economy. Coins like this were needed in huge quantities for everyday transactions, which meant that most entered circulation immediately and experienced heavy wear. This circulation is exactly what makes well-preserved examples so valuable today. While millions were struck, few survived in pristine condition, and even fewer show the type of quality that catches a collector's eye. On the obverse of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner that had been in continuous use since 1909. While the design is classic, not all pennies from 1950 are equal. Minting quality varied, especially at the Denver Mint. Collectors examine Lincoln's facial features, hair detail, beard, and coat lines with a critical eye. Many examples from this year show soft strikes or worn dies, making coins with sharp features, clear lettering, and smooth fields highly desirable. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity and America's agricultural roots. By 1950, the wheat design had been in circulation for over 40 years, yet its charm remained. On circulated coins, the wheat lines are often flattened, and the lettering may lose clarity. Coins with fully separated, bold wheat stalks, a sharp motto, and original red-brown color immediately draw attention from serious collectors. Rarity for the 1950 penny is not about mintage, rather, it is about survival and quality. Copper is highly sensitive to environmental factors. Many coins develop scratches, spots, corrosion, or artificial toning over the decades. Uncirculated examples with natural color, minimal contact marks, and full mint luster are far less common than many collectors realize. Professional grading significantly enhances the appeal of high-quality pieces, confirming their condition and value. Mint errors add an extra layer of intrigue to this coin. Some 1950 cents were struck off-center, creating striking and unusual designs. Others display double die characteristics, often visible in the date or lettering, resulting from misalignment during the die creation process. Clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing due to a minting mistake, are also known. In rarer cases, pennies were struck on improperly prepared blanks, producing unusual thickness, weight, or even composition anomalies. These errors turn an otherwise common penny into a unique collector's item with strong market demand. For coin enthusiasts, the 1950 Lincoln cent is not just about monetary value, it's about history and discovery. It reminds collectors that coins tell stories. This penny captures a post-war America, a nation rebuilding and entering a period of economic prosperity. The appeal lies in its accessibility. It's old enough to carry historic charm but common enough that dedicated collectors still have a chance to find high-quality examples or rare errors. Rolling through old coin jars, inherited collections, or vintage albums can reveal hidden treasures that have quietly survived for decades. This coin also represents the enduring legacy of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. Its classic design, historical significance, and potential for high-grade preservation or unique mint errors make it a must-consider piece for anyone serious about collecting American copper coins. Owning a 1950 penny is like holding a small but tangible piece of mid-20th century America in your hand. Now let's talk about real-world value based on actual market prices and auction results. A circulated 1950 1-cent coin is generally worth slightly above face value. Uncirculated examples typically sell for $2 to $6. High-grade certified coins have fetched prices ranging from $25 to $100 at auction. Genuine mint error examples have sold for $50, several $100, and in rare exceptional cases over $1,000, depending on the type, visibility, and overall condition of the error. Especially, we're delving into a coin that may seem humble at first glance, but carries an extraordinary story and remains a favorite among collectors, the United States of America 1-cent coin from 1944. This is a Lincoln Wheat Cent that captures a pivotal moment in American history, and if you think all pennies are the same, think again. This coin has details, errors, and a rich context that make it a must-see for anyone serious about collecting. The 1944 penny was produced during the height of World War II. At this time, the U.S. Mint had been experimenting with alternative materials to conserve copper for the war effort. In fact, just 2 years earlier, in 1943, pennies were made of steel coated with zinc to save copper for ammunition and other military needs. By 1944, the Mint returned to the traditional copper composition, using recycled shell casings from the war to strike pennies. This unique history gives the 1944 Lincoln Cent a remarkable connection to American history and adds an extra layer of intrigue for collectors. On the obverse of the coin, we see Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. By 1944, Lincoln's portrait had been in continuous use for over 35 years, yet each coin carries subtle differences that matter to collectors. Many pennies from this year display softer strikes due to high production volumes and worn dies, so coins with sharp detail in Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat are highly prized. The date and mint mark are also closely examined, particularly for errors or doubling. The reverse of the coin features the iconic wheat ears, representing growth and prosperity. The wheat design is simple yet elegant, but the real value for collectors comes from the coin's condition. On circulated pennies, the wheat stalks often appear flattened, and the fine lines in the feathers are lost. Coins that retain full wheat detail, crisp lettering, and original red-brown luster are rare survivors from this heavily circulated era. Rarity for the 1944 Lincoln cent isn't about mintage numbers, because millions were struck. Instead, it's about condition and survivability. Copper is vulnerable to wear, corrosion, and environmental damage. Over decades, many coins have developed scratches, discoloration, or toning. True uncirculated examples, especially those with strong eye appeal and natural color, are far less common than you might expect, making them highly sought after in the collector market. Mint errors add a thrilling layer to this coin's story. Some 1944 cents were struck off-center, creating visually striking misalignment. Others displayed doubled die characteristics, often seen in the date or lettering, due to errors during die preparation. Clipped planchets, caused when a blank wasn't properly cut, are also known. In extremely rare cases, pennies were struck on improperly prepared blanks, resulting in unusual weight, thickness, or even composition anomalies. These errors instantly elevate a coin from ordinary to extraordinary, often commanding much higher prices in auctions. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin because it combines history, artistry, and the excitement of the hunt. It reminds us that value isn't just about precious metals or age, it's about story, rarity, and condition. Searching through inherited collections, old albums, or forgotten coin jars can still reveal 1944 pennies in exceptional shape, or with unique mint errors. Every coin tells a story, and this penny tells one of wartime innovation, post-war recovery, and American resilience. This coin also holds significance as part of the larger Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which lasted from 1909 to 1958. It represents a bridge between the challenges of the early 40s and the returning normalcy of post-war America. For collectors, it's a symbol of history and continuity, as well as an opportunity to add a piece with both condition, rarity, and historical context to their collection. Now let's talk about real-world value based on current market trends and auction results. A circulated 1944 1-cent coin is generally worth slightly above face value. Uncirculated examples typically sell for $2 to $10. High-grade certified coins have fetched prices ranging from $50 to $200 at auction. Genuine mint error examples, depending on the type and visibility, have sold for $100, several $100s, and in exceptional cases over $1,000. The combination of historical significance, condition rarity, and mint errors makes the 1944 Lincoln cent a coin every serious collector should pay attention to. Last unique coin, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history that may look small and ordinary, but holds plenty of interest for collectors. The United States of America 1-cent coin from 1957, struck at the Denver Mint. This Lincoln Wheat Cent might appear simple to the casual eye, but its story, potential errors, and collector appeal make it much more than just pocket change. The 1957 D penny comes from a period when the United States was experiencing post-war growth and prosperity. The nation was shifting from the immediate post-World War II era into a booming economy, and coins were being produced in massive quantities to meet everyday needs. This heavy circulation means that most pennies from this year show signs of wear, making pristine examples all the more valuable for collectors. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. While the design is classic and has remained largely unchanged since 1909, minting quality varied from year to year and from mint to mint. The Denver Mint, which produced the 1957 D cent, was known for strong strikes in this era, but coins were still often subjected to circulation before collectors recognized their potential value. Collectors pay special attention to Lincoln's facial details, including the beard lines, cheek, and coat, as well as the clarity of the date and mint mark. Coins that retain full detail and sharp features are particularly prized. The reverse of the coin features the iconic wheat ears design, a symbol of prosperity and growth. The 1957 penny is part of the final years of the wheat cent series, which would soon be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This gives the coin added historical significance. On many circulated examples, the wheat stalks appear flattened, and lettering loses definition. Coins that retain crisp lines, fully detailed wheat stalks, and original red-brown color stand out immediately to serious collectors. Rarity for the 1957 cent is not about mintage numbers, millions were struck, but rather about survival and condition. Copper is a sensitive metal, and over decades, pennies can develop scratches, spots, corrosion, or artificial toning. Coins that have been carefully preserved in uncirculated condition with natural color are increasingly difficult to find, making them a hot target for collectors and grading services alike. High-grade examples are especially sought after in professional auctions. Mint errors add a thrilling dimension to this coin. Some 1957 pennies were struck off-center, resulting in dramatic misalignment of the design. Others exhibit double die characteristics, often visible in the date or lettering, caused by misalignment during die preparation. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an error in the blanking process, are also known. In rarer instances, coins were struck on improperly prepared blanks, resulting in unusual thickness, weight, or color. These errors instantly transform a regular penny into a unique collectible that can attract serious attention at auctions. For collectors, the 1957 cent is a coin that combines history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. It demonstrates that value is not always about age or precious metals, it's about condition, story, and rarity. Old coin albums, inherited collections, and forgotten jars can still contain 1957 pennies in exceptional shape, or with rare mint errors waiting to be uncovered. Every coin tells a story, and this one reflects post-war America, a nation in transition, captured in a simple copper coin. The 1957 Lincoln cent is also historically significant as part of the final wheat cent series. It represents the closing chapter of an era that had lasted nearly 50 years and showcases the enduring appeal of classic American coin design. For collectors, owning a high-quality 1957 penny is like holding a piece of mid-20th century American history in the palm of your hand. Now, let's discuss real-world value based on current market trends and auction results. A circulated 1957 1-cent coin is generally worth slightly above face value. Uncirculated examples typically sell for $2 to $10. High-grade certified coins have reached prices ranging from $25 to $100 at auction. Genuine mint error examples have sold for $50, several $100, and in rare exceptional cases over $1,000, depending on the type, visibility, and overall condition of the error. The combination of historical significance, condition rarity, and potential mint errors makes the 1957 Lincoln cent a coin every serious collector should pay attention to. This coin proves that even the smallest denominations can carry big stories, and for anyone passionate about American numismatics, the 1957 cent remains a treasure worth examining closely.